Hey, you want to see what a perfect start looks like in Minecraft? It looks something like this. Wait, no, wrong base. Looks something like this. And today, I'm going to do everything in my power from killing the Ender Dragon to farming a mountain of netherrack to get there. Whee! Not a bad spawn. Hey, what's up, man? We are going to break this into 3 separate phases, the first of which is going to be phase 1, or what I like to call this. Now, the first thing on my agenda is to farm a little bit of wood, and then I'm going to be crafting this hoe to farm up a little bit of wheat. Food was handled for at least the early part of this world, and the next thing on my checklist was to acquire iron, both for armor and for tools. I do see a second village across the water, so I'm going to put a boat down. Is that a shipwreck? It is! Alright, we got any treasure in here? Hey! I was planning on rushing through the early phases of the game for 2 reasons. To avoid an early death, and to get an elytra quickly to make building my base much easier. So, from here I cleared a second village, crossed an ocean, and looked for a mountain, all to quickly get iron. Gonna make a chest piece as well as that pickaxe, and now it's time for me to grab some iron. Okay, so now I just need to grab this iron, and then I should make an axe real quick to go down into the cave so I have a weapon. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna make a shield as well. Bruh. Oh no, I made 2%. Oh. So here's the plan for the rest of phase 1. First, I would head into the caves below me, grab a little bit of diamonds, and then I would make my way back out, find another portal, gather all the materials I need, and go straight to the end. But first, I would need just a little bit more iron. Just got a few more pieces to craft. Chest piece and boots. There we go. Okay, now we have full iron armor. Now I gotta go get some diamonds. Oh! Wait, can I just sit here with the shield and... Oh! I have enough diamonds to make both a pickaxe and an axe. Nice. Whoa! Why is it only creepers? Back up. The rest of the time in this cave didn't really net much more, so I decided it was time to just go straight to the nether with iron armor. But first, I would need to find a lava pool to make a portal. Oh, I could go in right here at this portal. Just gotta use lava with buckets and I should be able to make this. There we are, and now it's time to light it up. Now, I need to say, the most likely spot I will die in this entire world is in the nether. And if I wanted to build this base, I would need an extremely good nether spawn. Are you serious? What is this? Yeah, cool. I just gotta dig my way out of here. Alright. Here's the plan for the nether. First, I would hit up a fortress to get blaze rods. Then I would hit up a warped forest for ender pearls. And finally, I would hit up a bastion to trade with piglins, just so I could teleport back out. Oh, sweet. Okay, there's a fortress. I'm just gonna bridge across, and now it's time to hunt some blazes. Aha! Oh! I think I'm gonna do the safe play, pull back, and then build a little platform that I can kill him on top of. Risky play, but this is taking way too long, so I'm just gonna run at him and hope I don't die. Oh, blaze rods had now been acquired. Now it was time to head to a warped forest to kill endermen. Just gotta get this down real quick. Yeah, how you feel now, Mr. Stupid Enderman? You can't hit me. And after sitting here for about 30 minutes, I finally had exactly 16 ender pearls, which left me with only one thing to do in the nether. I gotta find a bastion. So yeah. Oh! Oh! I accidentally tunneled into a bastion by digging through this wall. And while I was here, I would have to systematically clear the entire thing while making sure to leave all piglings alive so I could do some trading.
Okay, this is the most stressful part of this world so far. Because these piglin brutes should, like, legitimately two-shot. The issue is if I hit them, then I get attacked by all the other guys. No, 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 no! Oh my god. I'm so lucky he lost interest in me, like, after one hit. I was so dead there. Hey, netherite spinning up. I mean, dude, if you're offering, I'll take.
Here, I made a piglin trading chamber in hopes of acquiring 10 obsidian.
Oh, we're good! We're free!
Now, it was time to fight the Ender Dragon, and all of this would enable me to get the Elytra and completely shift focus to the main base. But first, I would need to find the stronghold.
Don't break, don't break, don't break, don't break. Nice. Where is this? Oh. Oh. No shot.
Before fighting the Ender Dragon, I had a plan. First, I would turn lava into obsidian to make an enchanting table. I don't have any diamonds. This could be easily handled because on my way down here, I passed a cave. So I would just go back in and collect all the diamonds I need to finish the enchanting table, plus give myself better armor.
Oh, like right here? Feather falling 4. Oh my gosh.
Now, it's time to take on the Ender Dragon. And, I just gotta make sure I don't die.
And... okay.
Off to a good start. That's 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna build up these taller ones to make it easier.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh! He's pushing, thank you.
Alright, cool. This marks the end of Phase 1 and the start of Phase 2, the block collection phase, which would start with me going to the end and getting shulker boxes and an elytra.
No, I might as well grab this while I'm here. Did he go through the... Okay. Bam. And now, all I have to do is find one of the damn shipwrecks. Oh no! What is that? How many shulkers is that? That's definitely enough.
My focus would need to shift to finding a build spot for the base, but before I did that, I had one thing to do.
Okay, sweet.
Now, it's time to traverse the land and find a build spot that just calls out to me. But on the way, I found a pale garden, which is something I would need very heavily for the build. So I mined every single block. And this was a mistake. I will explain why later.
Oh, okay, I guess I'm going in here. I will need tough and a lot of it for the build, so I'm gonna grab some of this right now.
While I was down there, I also picked up an excess of diamonds, gold, and iron, and it was time to continue the search for the build spot. But I had one pit stop I had to make. I do need mending extremely bad, so I'm gonna make a lectern really quick, and let's get this sold.
Hey, what's up, man? You wanna become a librarian? No, no, get back. Are you going in? Nice. Okay, so, oh my gosh, finally. Okay, his trades are now locked in, which means I just need to go get 16 emeralds. I just need to sell some wheat to these guys. There we go, and that should be enough. Mending, there we go.
With my elytra having mending, the search was now ready to continue. And it wouldn't take long until I found the spot.
This isn't looking too bad. It's pretty circular. And there's a village right there, hey. And honestly,
I don't think I'm going to find a better spot. I'm going to be using Lightmatica to blueprint out the build for 2 reasons. First, because it'll give me a detailed material list on exactly what I need. And second, because this build took 15 hours to make, and I guarantee you don't want to see this. Does that look good? No. The build spot was stationed directly outside of this village, and this house would serve temporarily as a base of operations while I tackled the material list. Nice. Before tackling the material list, I would need to focus on getting a super smelter done. But before I could do that, I needed one thing.
Oh my gosh. I almost just died. Okay, I'm gonna run a set base. Alright, cool.
Now, to gather the materials for the super smelter, I enchanted all of my tools with the levels I gathered, plus all the bookcases. Can I talk right now? Plus, all the bookcases I farmed down in the stronghold.
Oh, okay.
The super smelter would be used to smelt all the materials I needed for the build, but to build it, I would need a bunch of iron. So, I went down into the caves and I started farming.
Okay, where am I gonna put the super smelter? I'm thinking probably right here.
Now, I just need to put some furnaces down, and then I just have to put some hoppers. And I need to turn all of this coal into blocks to fuel the whole thing.
So if I flick this lever, they should all turn on.
Sweet! That's not bad. The next few hours look like this. I go to the caves for resources, return to the smelter, and repeat. And during all this, I filled this entire shoreline with sugarcane. This will be useful later. Now, it was time to start flattening out the plot for the build. So, I started clearing all of this grass piece by piece, and let me tell you, this took hours. Oh my gosh, not to pat myself on my back, but this is not looking bad. Okay, I gotta start filling this out though.
I'm already out of dirt. I think I've done like 1/5 of it.
After filling for hours, this is what the plot looked like. Now is where things get tedious. I'm an addict and my block of choice is quartz. Now on my old world, this would have been fine, but I didn't take into consideration that doing a build based out of quartz without a villager trading hall was going to suck. So I had to put a portal back to the nether. Oh, I guess I just had to farm it manually. 2 hours spent in the nether. Let's see how much we get out of blocks. There we go. Oh, cool. Yeah, 340 out of the, 6,000 I need? Nice. So, to make gathering quartz more obtainable, I would need mending on my pickaxe. And the original villager I got it on was now 8,000 blocks away. So, I would have to get it again.
Wanna drop down there? Come on. Nope. Oh, 36 emeralds though? It's crazy. 24. Yup. And then mending. There we go.
This trip left me with just over 1 shulker block of quartz blocks, or a total of 2,000, meaning at this current rate of mining, I'm getting about 1,000 blocks per hour, or I'd need to mine for another 3. But from here, my priorities shifted from farming to crafting and smelting, first of which would be quartz.
Okay.
Followed by stone, which would both be used for stone bricks, walls, and lodestone.
Okay. So while I'm here, I need to make, 2,485 stone bricks? So how many is that? 1,120. Really?
Bit by bit, I started tackling my massive list of materials.
Okay, I don't have an XP farm, but I saw somewhere that a furnace can store, I think, like 40 levels of experience, so I might be able to break this.
Hey! Here, I returned back to the nether to grab more quartz, which still was not enough. And back to the overworld to farm for stone. and proceeded to make all the materials I'd need for the outer layer of the base.
I've never made a shelf before, and this build has a few thousand of them. Oh, it takes stripped wood. Okay.
Yeah, remember how I said I made a mistake by farming all that pale oak? Well, it turns out I need every single one of them stripped. So I would need to replace every piece I mined to strip it and mine it again. Yeah.
First, I'm gonna grab some stripped oak. Now I'm gonna take all this pale oak wood that I farmed earlier. I'm gonna honestly probably just fill in down here and strip it layer by layer.
Yeah, it's gonna take way too long. I'm just gonna plant these saplings back down. From here, I set up a bee farm, farmed copper, crafted everything I'd need for the build with the exception of the remaining quartz. And this marks the end of Phase 2 and the beginning of Phase 3, the building phase.
Okay, that took forever. Oh my gosh, it's time to get to tilling. Oh my gosh, that took forever.
Once I finish planting all the crops, it's time to go and grab the rest of the materials for the base.
Okay, now I have to go find calcite, and the issue is there's no mountains nearby. So I guess I'll just go this way until I see one. Is that one? That is! Please have calcite. Please have calcite. Please have calcite. Calcite! Okay, so I only need 500, so I should be able to just go to town.
Originally, I was going to go back to the nether to farm the remainder of the quartz I needed, but I had a better idea.
I decided, why not, rather than using all my inventory space, why not build what I have now in the center part and then come back later? So all in all, not bad. I mean, we made some decent progress.
Now, it was time to return to the nether for what would be the final time farming quartz. This excavation took, and I'm not even joking, 6 hours. Yeah.
Let's get this all smelted. And I just want to point out something. I farmed over 200,000 netherrack for this. Yeah.
Now, it was time to finish the outer part of the build.
All right. How's she looking? Not bad. Oh my gosh. So, there's 2 things left for me to do. I have to get the tip on with copper, which, I don't know if I have enough. Oh, nowhere near enough copper. Okay. Well. Just gotta turn them all into copper blocks and give them some wax. And now, it's time to do the top. Sweet! All that's left to do is the interior, and I think I'm gonna do this out of bookshelves. Just gotta crap these all into bookshelves right here, and I should have more in this box. There we go. Now, it's time to tackle the interior. Okay. Nice. Hey, I'm gonna break the magician's code real quick. This took 180 days. Starting a new world in Minecraft has really put it in perspective that I desperately need experience. Here's why. Recently, I updated to the newest version of Minecraft and I got my hands on a spear. Oh, now this highlighted an unexpected issue. I don't have any experience and this is how I have to get it. Yeah, so this video, our one and only goal, is to fix that. But there's one thing I have to handle first.
The farm I plan on building is going to be in the end, and I don't want to die. So I'm going to do a raid real quick, just so I can get a totem up and die.
Oh my gosh, can you guys stop?
Clearing a raid is the only way to get a totem of undying, and it's not inherently hard, unless something like this happens.
Where are they? Oh my god, what? They're in my base! How do I handle this? Here, actually, let me go grab a bow. Whatever I get on, it's all that's gonna matter, okay? Okay, punch 2, alright, cool.
Yeah, getting past that hiccup, eventually I did get a totem of undying. Now, my focus could shift to the XP farm.
I didn't even get Hero of the Village because Man.
The first thing to do would be to find a new stronghold, because although I already have killed the Ender Dragon, that original stronghold was 8,000 blocks away. So, I would need something closer to my base. Now, I needed to do 2 things. First, I would need to set up another portal linking this spot to my other portals for easy access. Second, I need to activate the end portal, as this would be where the farm would be located.
And now, I should be able to go into the end.
Yeah. This is the material list for the XP farm. A fairly daunting list, but when you break it down, it's mostly just froglights, glass, and leaves. And throughout this video, I'll have to find a way to source each and every one of them. There we go. Okay, I have enough for 10 more shulker boxes. That should be enough for now. It's time to go back.
So now I just need flint.
This portal would serve as a bridge from my base to the end portal. And now, my focus could shift to building the interior section on the XP farm. And to do so, I would first need to grab a couple of materials. I just need some coal, some iron, and I need to get this all smelted.
And to the end we go. I do need some ender pearls, just so I can get an endermite to spawn. So, gonna take the spear and, Wait, hold on, this is insane! Oh!
How this farm works is an endermite gets dropped into a minecart, which triggers all of the endermen to attack it. So, the first thing I need to do is to get an endermite to spawn.
Okay, so now we gotta spawn in this guy. Oh! Stop! He's named, so in theory, if I pull back up here, he should be... Oh! Okay, so, if I break all this, it should just turn on, okay? They should come any second, and... Oh, that's not right. There we go. Nice. This would be the core of the farm, which was now complete, and now it was time to shift into high gear. But there is one thing I want to do first. I got this cool new spear, and I kind of want to test it on the wither. And wither! I missed. What? There we go. Come on! Oh god. Oh god. He should be dead. Okay, he's gone. The first item for the material list I'd tackle would be froglights. There's 2 ways to make a froglight farm. First is to find a bastion with a magma cube spawner, and the other one is to make a nice little farm on the nether roof. And to make things easy, I was gonna do the second. Like crazy. Stop. Should be able to pearl up through right here, maybe. Yeah! Let's just make sure this links to the original. It should. And yeah. Alright, cool. Before I built the farm, I would temporarily put down a little spawn pad just to test spawn rates. Are you... Okay, so, we don't have enough. Let's just go up. Oh, wait! Hold up. Because I chose to build in a basalt delta, magma cubes would spawn here just fine. But this highlighted another issue almost immediately. Okay, so, 2 things. 1, how do I breed frogs? And also, how do I get the right kind of frog? Like, do I have to look this up? Breeding frogs is a fairly simple process. First, you have to go to the swamp to find a frog to breed. Now, am I crazy? Frogs spawn here, right? Aha! Hey, what's up, man? Okay, there's 1. I need to find his... Give me a second frog. Aha! Hey,
Come here. Next, you breed the 2 frogs with the slime ball, and then you take the tadpole to a specific biomes to get specific colors. I only need green Froglight, so I would need to breed them in a cold biome.
What? Oh! Alright, cool. So follow this one, I think, right? Go to the water. Yeah! Tadpole! Wait, no. No! Go. How do I... Do I still touch them? Maybe? Uh-oh. Okay, so if I take these tadpoles, like that...
Now, the next thing you're going to do is get completely sidetracked from frog breeding to designing a farm because you are a terrible YouTuber who has trouble keeping on track.
Let's go up 2.
Why is he just looking at me like that? This is one of the early stages of the Froglight farm. Now, I did tweak it a little bit more after this.
Nice.
Now it's time to shift focus back to the frogs.
Yeah, this should work to breed them. I just need to have it in a cold biome, so I'm gonna hollow this out real quick. Now, I need to place the rest of the frogs and get some more slime.
With the slime, I sat here breeding for way too long, and for some reason, I can't break the habit of taking things way too far.
I might have bred too many frogs.
I managed to breed a total of 237 frogs. Why this many frogs, you might ask? I don't know. Now, I need to build a little highway bridging this portal to the farm. So there we are. Nice. Now, I have to get all of them to follow me. If I pull out one of these slime balls, they should all just go through the portal if I stand back here. You might notice I originally had a layer of snow, and I actually didn't need any of that. So I removed it as quick as I could. Now let's talk about how the farm works. First, I would need layers of netherrack stacked 3 high. This is where the magma cubes would spawn. And in the center, I would trap iron golem. These would kill the big slimes and make them tiny, small enough for the frogs to eat and create froglights.
Oh. And bam. Okay.
I AFK'd the farm for a total of 4.5 hours and generated 53,000 froglights. Considerably more than I would need to actually do the main build.
Full. Not full.
Now the next thing on the material list I would tackle would be leaves. But before that, I headed back into the end just to grab some more shulker boxes to make this easier. Now, I have to find a way to farm 49,270 oak leaves. And, it's gonna be a big job, so... What? Kind of looks like Herobrine attacked right here. Farming all these oak leaves took about 10 hours. Yeah. Now, the only thing left on the material list for me to get would be glass and dye. Specifically, green and black dye. Now, green dye could easily be handled if I just made a cactus farm.
There we go. I'm not even joking. This took 10 hours to build. Nice.
Now it's time to tackle black dye. This easily can be done by setting up a wither cage and creating a wither rose farm. Or I could just do the other method.
Nice.
Dye was now handled, and the material list for the main build was almost done. The only thing left for me to source would be sand for glass. This could easily be done by setting up a sand duper at the end portal frame. But to make it worth it, I would need something that's extremely high rate.
Okay, so I gotta clear out this entire area.
Now, to make this sand duper work, I would have to break the end portal frame. This used to be much easier with a mushroom, but this got nerfed in 1.21.5, so I'm gonna have to use TNT.
And now, if I break you, this on X, okay. Now I press X, and just hold this right here. It should just do it. And boom. Hey! Wow, that took an astronomically long time. Cool. This is a sand duper. Now, in theory, if I've done this correctly, if I flick this lever, it should just turn on. I'm just hoping it doesn't blow itself up. And as a little test, I'm just gonna turn that off. Oh my gosh, no, no! Oh, man. Yeah, I got this one off the TMC catalog Discord, and I legitimately have no clue how it went so bad. So, I ended up reusing the same design from my first world, because at least I know this one works. And... Are you serious? Ah. Now, the only thing left to do would be to set up the inside collection system. And now, I could just AFK here for the remainder of the glass I'd need for the build. I sat here for a total of an hour and a half while the farm ran. This generated me more than enough glass to do the entire build. Now begins the long, tedious process of, trying to smelt all of this sand. Have you ever tried to smelt 40,000 glass? Because I haven't. This took hours. This took 4.5 hours to be exact. But eventually we did get it done. But following that came the long process of turning all of the regular glass into dyed glass, which was a process in itself. Everything about this project took an astronomical amount of time. And to get everything to the end, I would need a ridiculous amount of chests and a gas sling for the build. So it was time to start farming for some chests. Now, I just need to put some chests down right here. I'm gonna do it right here. Is that all? Oh. It's like Chest-mageddon over here. With the chests all set up, all I would need now would be a gas, which easily could be done, but to make the process quicker, I would need some snowballs. Oh, hey, what's up, frogs? There's like 5 stacks, probably enough, maybe. Gotta place my happy gas down right here. Sure. Oh, he's alive! I hear him! Grow! Grow! How many snowballs do you take to grow? Oh! Oh! That was so quick! Okay, now it's time to build the thing. Am I done? Am I free? I just want to see how this looks from the mainland. It's beautiful. When I look at Minecraft's beautiful terrain, I can't help but think one thought. Yeah, I could fix that. Creating a perimeter is a complex process with many steps, problems, and solutions. But there's one big issue. I don't know how to do any of it.
You want to learn how to make a massive hole? It's pretty easy if you use my 5-step process. First, you're going to need to handle any trees or water at the surface of the perimeter. This area needs to be entirely flattened. Send all your cash and life savings to this Bitcoin address and be sure to not tell your wife.
I don't want to do that.
What do you mean you don't want to do that? You have to do that. You're going to need to dig a trench at least 15 blocks wide around the entire hole. And to top it off, you need to build a world eater and let this run until there is nothing left besides bad decisions that led you to spending 2 weeks digging an entire hole in Minecraft. Now leave me alone.
Okay, what was that guy's problem?
The first objective would be to find a suitable build spot. And luckily, I had a place in mind. See, this is my farming district. This area has this extremely flat and dry spot located directly behind it. This is where I would build the perimeter. All right, first thing I gotta do is I need to mark out the perimeter in this netherrack. So, the area I was marking out was 300 by 300 blocks wide. This was the initial plan for the size of the perimeter.
I have exactly enough. That is crazy.
If you look closely, this area is filled with trees, and normally I would just blow them up. But because I just started this world, I am kind of broke. So,
So now I have to clear out all of these trees because I want to keep this wood. Nice.
This is where the first challenge arises. See, this entire area is covered with water, and the best way to handle this would be to acquire sponges, which means I would have to clear underwater temples. Or do I? See, there's a weird mechanic when you go into underwater temples called mining fatigue, which come from these guys. Essentially, this slows down your mining to a snail's pace, and the only way to break it is to kill these guys. But there is a way to clear this effect with milk.
Aha! Hello, cow. Get a bunch of these milk buckets. Thank you. Pull up to the ocean monument down here and, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, I didn't have to use the milk. Now if I pull up here, if we come up here,
Just gonna dry these sponges on the nether roof.
now I just need to take out any exposed water sources I see like this. Okay, so I used all 35 sponges and I got one thing done. I'm definitely gonna need some more sponges.
The milk strat netted me a total of 436 sponges. But before I could use them, I had to dry them in the nether. Now, it was time to start clearing any visible water from the perimeter. This will be the most tedious part of the entire excavation. This is where the next issue presented itself. See, this is the shoreline. Draining this is nothing but pain. If we take, for example, a pond, this is fairly simple to drain. All you have to do is pillar up the center and work around the sides, and eventually it will get itself. But this loves to refill itself no matter what you do. But fairly quickly, I found a very easy workaround with sand. First, I need to section off this side. And now, I need to section off this side. Now, to make this complete, I needed to section this off into sections no bigger than 4 blocks wide. And once that was done, all I had to do was get to using sponges. The top section water clearing was now complete. Now, it was time to shift focus to obtaining the next material I would need. Since all the water's done for right now, I do need to make a creeper farm so I can get TNT. Yep, I'm gonna build it right here. And nice, now I should be able to just AFK. Okay, so far, I've managed to get this much. Not bad. Sourcing TNT for the excavation was now handled. Now, I would need to source slime. And due to recent events, I do not want to build a slime farm. But I have an idea.
If I just like pull up with this, give it a sec. Just right there and go.
This is what I call the crusade to not build a slime farm. And while I was in the middle of it, I got a call from my friend Small Guy.
Oozing potion, right. Oh my god.
But here's where the revelation hit me. The quickest way to get slime without building slime farm is to build a slime farm. I'm building Big Booty 17's slime farm with snowmen because it's better than the one I designed in every single way. So let's get to it. Now, if I just press the oozing button, press this. Now, we come up here, grab this, and... oh my gosh, I'm lagging from that. Oh my gosh, this slime farm was absolutely insane. And this secures the last thing I would need to start excavation on the hole. Okay, now I need to take this whole mountain down a sizable chunk. And I have an idea on how I could do that without going insane. Just gotta grab my TNT, and now I need to place it in all of these spots. Just hit a little light and see how this does for clearing. Oh. Okay, I mean, it'll work. It'll work.
Let me just hit like a little light up and see how this performs, okay? Better.
It might come as a shock to some, but this is inefficient. And luckily, I knew of a better way. This is a TNT duping flying machine, and before the fun police come in, it's my world, and if I say TNT duping is not cheating, it's not cheating. Just gotta grab a couple of these coral fans, and now I need to kill them. And now I can build the machine to clear out the mountain.
So, let's go observer slime block. So, observer. So I flick it on, and does it send us back? It does!
Alright, cool. This ran without hitch, so now I need to repeat this all the way down the perimeter. Yeah.
Now, I have to turn every single one of these on.
The flattening phase is now complete, but I do want to change something up. If you look at these edges right here, you can see these parts are overhanging. So I'm actually going to make the trenches bigger, so the inner hole is at least 300 by 300.
So this is 1, 2, 3, and then we'll build it out just like one more like that. TNT, wall, and then TNT block. Boom, 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 boom. Piston right here. Check. 1, 2, 3, boom. Piston right here. Yes. Oh, and then, okay, wait, hold up. And then, detector rail, minecart. Okay, obsidian right here. Server, deep slate. Okay, I mean, one way to find out.
This trencher worked phenomenally. So here's the plan. Since these dupers do not self-descend, I would manually rebuild them one layer down every time they would stop. And to make things more efficient, I would run 2 sides of the trenches at once.
Oh yeah, the trial chamber right there. I kind of want to see what happens when, like, these guys just get nuked.
Yeah? A trial chamber was an unexpected roadblock. See, most of the things in the trench can easily be blown up, but a trial chamber can't. Well, more specifically, the chests and these spawners. So I would have to find another way to do it.
Now, I need to break these spawners. Can you stop? Unfortunately, I have to break every single one of these. And from what I understand, these take about 10 minutes to break by hand, or you can do something else. So if I place you right there, here, block right here, obsidian right here, TNT right here, and here. Like, can you guys stop? Get out of here. There we go.
Back to what I was doing before I was rudely interrupted.
Nice. Oh my gosh, I hate these stupid new trial chambers so much. There we go. Now, I think that should be all of them, but I'm just gonna double check real quick.
The trial chamber had been handled. Now it was time to continue working on the trench.
Okay, now it should work.
Wow, my TNT duper's flying. Look at it go. From here, you'd assume things were going well. But it's time to remember, I have an IQ of 63. Things were, in fact, not going well. I need to widen this trench, and I need to make it smooth. I found this schematic, and this one is for a smooth bore. See, I accidentally did not make my trenches wide enough, and this is supposed to be a much more efficient machine, but that only holds true if you understand how this stuff works, which I don't.
So in theory, if I break this block, it should go. Okay, wait, that's not right. No.
This is fine. So I disassemble it again, and then I went on my super flat world to test it to try and figure out how this thing actually works. Surely things will go well now.
Okay, second carpet bomber. I'm gonna press it Oh no. Only one went. Why is that?
I managed to get one of the sides working, and the second one was soon to follow. Yeah, hey, surely with both sides running correctly, things would go smoothly this time.
Where'd the minecart go? Yo! How am I supposed to... Okay, I gotta like snipe this thing on there. Okay, so just broke it. Alright, that's cool. Okay. Okay, my one opportunity to get it back on is right here. Okay, ready? Get out. It's on. Yeah!
I fixed the minecart. Surely now things have to go smoothly.
It stopped over there. One of them ran away again. Oh yeah, cool. No, yeah. Let's just carpet bomb my entire world. What happens if I just put a little block down, like right here? Yeah, go back. All right. I've come to the decision. The headache's not worth it. I'm only gonna do one side at a time.
I made the executive decision that I was only going to do one side of the trench at a time because of all the issues I was having. Surely now things would go smoothly.
Okay, so I think I might have just broke it. This happened because I tried placing a block to stop the machine so I could go down there and grab some diamonds. I then accidentally broke the block again and it lowered the whole machine down a level. But it's time for a change of plans. I've only done 2 of the trenches so far, and so now I decided it was time to take a hit at the other 2 side trenches. And just gotta check to see if I built this correctly. Nice. And just to check if I built this one correctly. Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. It... Wait, no! Did I build it right this time? Please? How? I'm just gonna do one side at a time. I cannot get 2 sides to work at once. Throughout this whole process, I was flying all the way down and filling in all of the water I could find, mainly these waterlogged blocks, because these would actually stop the world beater. Okay. So, I've decided that rather than trying to build these monstrosities that don't work, they just don't work, I'm gonna build these and just trench it the way I did originally. The 10 hours I spent building, rebuilding, and breaking these downward trenches resulted in me going back to the original design. Yeah. Nice. Here you would assume that I'm fixing my trenches being too small. I would have checked to see if these trenches were big enough. I did not. So, I managed to make the descending trencher actually work, and I widened the 2 trenches I just dug. They still were too small. I give up. These trenches suck. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm digging this by hand. I don't care. Okay? These walls are done. We're good. Got that. Yeah, that tracks. This marks the end of the trenching phase and onto the World Eater. This works the exact same as the original flying TNT duper, with the exception of these sweepers at the bottom, which clear out any water it comes across. Surely this will go well. So if I've managed to build this thing correctly, if I press this button, the whole thing should start. And nice. Unlike the rest of this project, the World Eater worked without stopping a single time. This thing worked flawlessly. Now as I look over the hole I've spent the last 2 weeks of my life digging, it makes me ponder, why did I do this to myself? And what's gonna go inside?